there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today we're going to make a patriotic man card for 4th of July. I want to wish all of my American viewers a happy 4th of July. Now, I have a family member who has a 4th of July birthday, and I thought it would be kind of nice to draw some inspiration for that and make a card. And so what I've done, I'm working on I cut a piece of the Heavyweight Recollections cardstock. Any cardstock, anything heavyweight, because we're going to do a lot of wet techniques. I just cut it down to 7 by 10 and then scored it so that I will end up with a 5 by 7 card, which is a standard size. And then I'm just going to tape that down. So I'll be able to work on the bottom half here and not have to worry about getting the backside too nasty with ink and stuff. And I'm going to be using some of the new stencils I got from Oriental Trading Company, and here they are. You got 6 stencils in a kit. There's these are stars and stripes, which I think will be really cool to do some backgrounds and make some plaids with. And then there's this huge star background that I can't wait to scrapbook some of the photos I'm going to take tomorrow on the 4th of July, or today on the 4th of July if this is when you're watching it. It'll probably be 4th of July when it comes up. Then you got this cool stars and stripes page, and then just like kind of a regular flag. And these are great. This whole set of 6 stencils was $8.50. That's the regular price, so it'll probably go on sale right after the holiday. That's how it usually runs down at Oriental Trading. So I'm going to use this and the small stripe one, but I want to show something to you because you're probably not, I wasn't aware of this when I got these stencils, which I want to be clear, were given to me by the fine folks at Oriental Trading. So for promotional purposes. I should start over. Oh my goodness. Okay, so when you get the stencils, they come like this, so they're not punched out. So the benefit to that is that you can keep all those little punch outs to use on your projects. I got 6 different sets, I think, and these were the hardest to punch out. So I just wanted to warn you that it's kind of a pain. So what you want to do first is kind of roll them back and forth, and that's going to loosen some of the little chads, or whatever you want to call them, the little punch out parts. And then you can kind of pull them out a little bit easier after that. You want to have a little pair of scissors handy just in case they don't want to come free, so you don't rip your stencil. But I just wanted to warn you that out of the 6 sets that I got, the stars on these stars and stripe ones were the hardest to come out. So, but you do get a heck of a bargain. I think these would be cool to use for earrings, maybe with some alcohol ink. I'll stay tuned. We'll do something with those. But I have these already punched out, and I'm going to use another fun product that I got from Oriental Trading a long time ago, and I did purchase it actually, and they're these little bingo daubers, and I have put gouache in mine, and they seem to work really well. I've used them for lots of different techniques, and I just thought it might be kind of fun to do something with them today. I have no idea how this is going to come out. I didn't practice this technique first, so here's hoping it is something that somebody will want to see. So, yeah, well, you know, that didn't work as well as I'd hoped, but, you know, it's a background, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. So I'm going to layer this. Actually, let me dry that first real quick. Definitely wanted to run under the stencil, but I am okay with that because that's how we learn. And I still think this card is going to come out pretty cool. I have hope. I'm just going to dry this up enough so that when I go over it with the stripes, I'm not just smearing that even more. Okay, we'll don't worry about that. Okay. Oh, I should do a comedy show, not a crafting show. And I think here I'm just gonna kind of swipe it. The thing with the dauber top things is that you don't want to you do not want to put really thick paint in here. So if you're gonna buy these to throw acrylic paints in them, I wouldn't recommend it because they seem to clog if you put in paint that's too thick. So just keep that in mind. The gouache and water works really well. What I really like to do, which is really fun, and why don't I show you this here because I have nothing to lose here. I like to just do a little bit of splatting. Gives you a really cool texture. Kind of almost looks like fireworks. You can do some with some white here. It's not going to work with the white. You can't see the white. Let's do a little bit of some red here. This gives you a really cool look. It's kind of, I've seen it done with like distress paints, I think. So you can kind of get your own look that way. All right, and maybe just a couple more splats of blue over here. All right, and then I think I'll dry it one more time. And I've got this a while ago, this Dilutions spray ink, and I really haven't used it. So I figured, why not? You know, I'm just kind of having a fun time and experimenting, and I turned the camera on, so hopefully it'll spark some creativity with you and some of the supplies you already have on hand. Actually, I'm starting to like this now as it dries out and gets that kind of like faded, milky look to it. Yeah, I kind of like that now. Okay, now I want to spray this. I want to see how, I don't know if this probably isn't going to be very pronounced because it's white on cream and then whatever I have there, but I still think it is going to give it some cool texture, you know, and that's kind of what, I should have actually taken a piece of old magazine paper or something and covered that whole back because I can tell I've already got some splotches over there, but, oh, that kind of does look cool. That is pretty opaque, isn't it? Alright, so why don't I pause this, let that dry. I gotta go grab a brown ink pad, I think, and we'll see where we are in a minute. Okay, we're back with, and I dried this, and I got a brown ink pad, distress ink pad here, because I wanted to add some texture, to add some, like, kind of a frame around here with some of this ink. I'm really kind of going for the Americana look here. Hopefully I'll succeed. And you know what? I think maybe I'll grab a color duster, because I got them right behind me, and I think I'll just kind of swipe over this. Give it some, that's why I put a mat down there. I knew I was going to get messy. And I can always cut this, you know, cut this apart and use this as a layer on a card if, you know, it's way too messy to to keep as my card base. That's alright. That's part of it. Now I also want to kind of put like a, kind of like a row of happy birthdays. And I think I was going to do this in black, but I think actually it's going to be better in brown because I'm going to stamp my focal images in black. At least I plan to. It's funny to just kind of see what happens. And a lot of people, I did a video the other day asking what they thought if scrapbooking was dead or not, and a lot of people said they just feel so intimidated when they watch videos and everything's so perfect, and they can't get theirs to look that way, and it's frustrating. And so, you know, I don't want that. I don't want anyone watching my videos to feel like it's something they can't obtain because it's too perfect. Certainly not. So I've got this this set here. I got this last year from Local King, rubber stamps. I don't have too many mail themed oh, what do you want to call it, stamps and supplies. So when I find a set that I really like, I grab it because I know it will become useful because I don't have very many. So I think I'm going to use the motorcycle and maybe the gas pump. Let me just see what kind of space that's going to take up. If I set that there or there, I might just want to use the motorcycle. Yeah, I think I'm just going to use the motorcycle. I think this is going to take up too much room. So what I'm going to do is figure out where I want it, and if it comes out awful, I will just cut a piece of paper and I'll cover it over and I will think of something else. So, you know, that's a great way to make your card work. And because, I mean, supplies can be expensive, and if you don't have a lot, it can be scary to want to make anything when you think you may just be wasting the only supplies you have. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Alright, hopefully this is a decent stamping surface. I haven't stamped on this mat before. Oh yeah, they came out pretty well. And I could even emboss that, you know? Maybe I will. Hold on a moment. Alright, hopefully this ink is still wet. I was interrupted by a child looking for graham crackers. Oh, summer. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just get that on the motorcycle and then put the excess back. I wonder if it's going to be one of those spill my embossing powder days. Alright, hey, that looks pretty good. So look at me putting this back in the jar and capping it off before I spill it. Oh, you can teach an old dog new tricks. Look, it never wants to all fit back in there when I'm done. What's up with that? So let me just... Success! Success! Alright, so we're going to heat this up, and I am doing this on camera because people ask me all the time, what's that powder? And oh, you know what? Here's a little tip for you. I want to do this before. I can see that there are flecks of embossing powder that have sneakily adhered to probably some paint that wasn't quite dry, and I just want to get that off before I heat it up, because once it's heated up, it's going to be there for good. Alright, now I can heat that up. And also, actually, it's a good idea to let your heat gun warm up for a couple minutes before you actually use it. And I'm not sure, yeah, I've embossed on this before. So this is a really dark navy colored embossing powder, so I think it's going to look really cool on this. There, that was quick. You don't want to overheat it, because if you overheat it, then all sorts of evil will befall you. No, it'll just kind of sink into the, the paper and be all awful to look terrible and get smoky and fumes, and yeah, don't overheat it, to make a long story short. Actually, that's not too bad. I can live with that. I can live with a couple little specks on the background. Some people can't. I personally totally can. Alright, so now I've got to ponder whether this card is done or not. So I think it's going to need to be weighted under some books if I'm going to use it just like that. And the more I look at it, the more I feel like that motorcycle's just kind of floating around there. I'm going to look around for a nice big frame that I can stamp around it. So would you be so kind as to wait a moment? Alright, I looked in my frame stamp binder and I found this one here, which is an old one from Ink Boutique, and I'm going to see if I can stamp that. I forgot my big mount way over there. Hold on another minute. Alright, I did find my stamp block. I'm just going to stamp down my, tape my paper down just so it doesn't go, it's kind of warpy right now. And I put it on a rocking mount, a rock-a-block mount, because I was concerned that it would, because it's just a plain rubber stamp. It doesn't have the cushion on it. I was concerned that it wouldn't make a good contact with the, with my paper. I'm going to wipe out that in the middle there. And I am just going to stamp around my motorcycle. Hopefully I get a good impression. Right now I'm going to quickly sprinkle it with powder. I have a couple different colors, and I kind of like this gold color. I was going to go with white, but I think I'm going to actually use this gold just for something different here. And I hope it sticks, because I typically don't emboss with this white ink, but I couldn't find my clear pad for some reason. It must be hiding. I seriously need to do some housekeeping down here in my crafty area. Alright, I will dump that onto my little paper scrap here so you can go back in the pot. And it's kind of distressed looking. I didn't get it exactly perfect, but we'll see how it looks when it's all melted, won't we? And I'm going to try not to reheat the motorcycle, because I don't think that's going to look that great. This is going to be quite a subtle frame, I think. That goldy color, I guess, is more of a pearl. It's not as opaque as I thought it was going to be. I might actually try to sprinkle some white in there while it's still hot. I'll see if I can finagle that. I don't know, though. I haven't been all that all that coordinated today. We shall see. Actually, it's not that bad, but I feel like I would like it a little bit lighter. So why don't I, oh gosh, I've got two embossing things going now. This could be trouble, folks. I've got an open container, and I have a container I'm working from. This is just asking for trouble. There we go. Oh, now I have no place to put this. See, I'm going to put it on the stamp package and hope for the best. Maybe I can get that back in the container after. I don't even know if anything's stuck, actually. Nope, nothing. Well, I don't. You know what I'm going to do? Because nothing, well, let me better heat that up first, because I think maybe something did stick. I don't want to get that all over my ink pad. I'm going to go rogue in a minute here. Alright. I think I'm actually just going to kind of try just to add a little bit of ink there, kind of double up that frame. This is like guerrilla stamping. It looks like a monkey did it! That's why I call it guerrilla stamping. Yeah, we're gonna do something a little different here. There we go. Who says you need a stamp anyway? Now we're gonna add the powder. I know, I got two open things of embossing powder. I am just asking for trouble here. I can't believe I haven't spilled it yet. Okay. Oh, that's kind of That's kind of cool, and I can go in with my brush and I can dust away anywhere I don't want the powder to stick. Off those little wheels. Let me just wet it with a, because I got some ink there, that's why it's stuck. I'm just gonna wipe that off with a wet towel. Alright, now let's try heating this one more time, shall we? This time, third time's a charm, right? Cooking with fire. So if you have, if you're, you know, doing some celebrating on the 4th of July, which is probably today, I have realized, because I'm going to schedule this for tomorrow. I hope you have a very safe holiday and fun and happy and all of that. Actually, I'm kind of liking these ghosty layers. I'm getting some kind of ghosty layers here. It's almost got a little pearly sheen to it. I don't think I've used this white powder before. It came in a kit with a bunch of other powders. Oh, you know, I kind of like that. I'm not going to complain about that. I think that's kind of neat. I feel like maybe I wanted a little bit, I'm going to let that cool and put my caps on my powders. And I think I might add a little more paint to kind of act as a resist. You know, and if I completely mess it up, oh well, I'll make another one. I just got embossing powder all over my ink pad. That's very sad. I really need to plan better. Oh, that's not the right thing right here. So, there. So, word to the wise from someone who isn't, always put your embossing powders away. Alright, so I think I'll just go ahead and use my paints here just to go and add, look at that, it really makes the frame stand out when I do this. I'm just going in and drawing around it, and I'm using a darker color because the frame is kind of light, and I think maybe I'll do a little bit of blue on the inside. These dabber bottles are really fun. I think they're called the Dilly Dot Dabbers. I like how I'm getting all these different layers and veils of color when I do this. And I can go in and I can wipe it with a cloth. This one's relatively clean. And there, I've got kind of just a grungy resist. I think what would really finish this off nicely would be just a couple Golden Star Brad. So let me go grab those. I found not only gold, I actually didn't find golden ones. I found red, silver, and blue ones. And here's a little trick. Since this is going to be a one layer tag, I don't want to put these, poke these through. So what I'm going to do is just cut the little prongs off my brads with this diagonal flush cutter. You can use a button shank remover or wire cutters from your jewelry making stash if you have it. And I am just going to add, see where I like them best. I think I liked them over there pretty well. They look pretty good there too. Yeah, why not right there? And I'm going to use some dimensional glue. This is 3-in-1 from Beacon. Helmar 450 is also really good. Anything, you know, that you can squeeze, you know, fairly precisely, that's quick grab is going to work good for this. Just press it on there good. Just got to make sure it's going to marry it up. You could use hot glue if you can do that without letting it squirt through. This glue was actually at our Big Lots type store. I think it was Ocean State Job Lot. I know those are fairly New Englandy, but they have them for $2.50, so it's a good deal. And again, I want to thank Oriental Trading for the stencils, and please check those out if you're in the mood for stencils, because they do have great selection and a really good prices on what they have too, because you get several stencils for the price of one in a large size, which is really nice. So there you have it. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Sorry it was a little wacky and crazy and full of mistakes, but hey, that's what you come to expect, I think. Thanks so much for watching. Happy 4th of July. And until next time, happy crafting.